Πολύ καλησπέρα, hello και hello. Ξεκινάμε το live stream με την Cristina Scabbia, τον LACUNA COIL. We are starting the live stream with Cristina from LACUNA COIL. Let's wait until we see her. Hi, Cristina.
Hello, how are you? Good to see you.
Great to see you again. It's been a while since we last saw each other in Athens in your last show.
It has been a while.
I think that we had a show booked in December again, but no tours, no shows.
No, and that sucks so bad.
And unfortunately, I can't really understand how it is to be a touring musician and be stuck at home.
Well, you know what? It is of course bad on the job side, and also because we love to tour, we love to perform, but at the same time I got to spend a lot more time, with my loved ones and in my own house, which I don't stay very often in. So it was half and half. It was half and half.
Yeah. So I already have lots of questions for you from various places all over the world.
Nice. Thank you, everyone.
It's nice. It's nice. I always wonder. I did an interview with Gus G, and most of the questions were from people outside Greece, which is really fantastic. It's in fact, the first question, for example, was from Mexico.
The beauty of internet, where everyone is connected.
Yeah, everyone is connected. I see there are so many people already in this. So let's start, and moving on, we'll see many more questions. But from all these hearts that I see crawling, I can't really know.
Thank you, everyone.
Which question to start with. So I will start with the first question I got from Mexico, from Edgar.
Yeah.
Asking, would the band take the same musical direction if the past members were still around?
I guess so, because the songwriters are pretty much the same. So the core of the band, of the songwriting, was always Maki, our bass player, Andrea, the male singer of LACUNA COIL, and myself, because Andrea and I are responsible for every vocal melody you hear and all the lyrics, with a little help from Maki, who is the responsible for the music. So yes, the music would be the same, being as the songwriters.
Okay. Marina asks, watching your Instagram account, we see that you work out a lot this period of time.
It is true.
However, it's hard to believe that you are so energetic on stage without physical exercise. I think that you have mentioned that you didn't exercise frequently.
That is true. To be honest with you, I started now to kind of enjoy working out and do exercise, because I was always really lazy and I love to eat. So I got to a point, especially during the lockdown, that I had to think about it. I'm just like, I'm eating way too much, because I'm home doing nothing. So the only thing I'm really doing is just like doing focaccia, pizzas, handmade pasta, and I'm eating a lot of food. So that was my way to balance when I started. And I just found out that I felt better. I'm not talking about, just strictly the
diet,
the actual look. I'm feeling better because I can move better. I have more strength on my legs, on my core, and this is something that I will use for my job as well, because it is really important, to have a strong core, especially if you're a singer, and to move around on stage. I think I will use, this workout session.
It's strange that you don't do so much exercise, from the way that you're very energetic on stage. So I was wondering too, how come and you don't exercise a lot? Because it takes a lot to move and jump and
It is definitely
think.
good cardio work, but when I'm on tour, that is my gym. When I'm
Yeah,
not on tour, it is completely different because especially when you're home, you tend to sit down on the couch, playing video games, watching movies, whatever. You don't get really active, especially, during the lockdown. But now I just found out that, I mean, I don't need to do anything crazy because as soon as someone sees a picture of you working out, they probably think that you're working out the whole day and you're going crazy and you're getting like proteins, in like
yeah.
I mean, I am taking at least, not at least, so let's say 1 hour a day to do some
Hmm.
exercises. That might be stretching, that might be a little bit of yoga, even if I'm not that much into yoga because I don't know that much. A lot of cardio. I could do a treadmill, just doing something different every day so I don't get bored because I get bored really easily. If I had a routine, if I was going to a gym, let's say that you have to do sessions of like you have to do 4 times 20 squats, I would get bored because I hate
I
repetitions. So for me, cardio is perfect because it's with music, it's with a lot of different exercises, it's total body. And I mean, it's good for me. But as long as you do
yeah.
a little bit of something every day, it's okay. You don't need to go crazy. You don't need to overdo it. You don't need to get to the point that you hate it. But as long as you take like half an hour, 1 hour a day, you really feel better.
Yeah, I think so too, and it helps everybody, especially during this in this quarantine. So noticing the first hundreds of notifications I see. Apart from the fact that I think I will, you will have some marriage proposals.
You don't want to marry me, guys. No. No, no, no.
um, let's send our love and greetings to every place in the world that they are saying. I'm seeing some Japanese flags. I'm seeing some flags from Venezuela. There are so many different countries. The guy asking, do you personally know? Uh, Missed the name from Breaking Benjamin. Ben. Uh,
No, no, I
no, no.
never met them. No, I know who they are, but we never got the
Yeah,
chance to meet each other, and I'm not very familiar with their music as well. So,
we have a James Bond-like kind of message from Russia with love.
hi, Russia. Hello, everyone around the world.
Yeah. Does Cristina like Kiri Thungol? How can I say it? Siri Thungol? Don't know how it is. That's a very obscure heavy metal band. Have you heard of this band?
No.
Okay. So, um, a question from Rebecca. Uh, I'm trying to make matching the. I'm trying to match the questions. So it says, living in Italy, which is a country heavily affected by COVID-19, how this how has this experience changed your way of living, and which things do you do differently?
Well, it definitely changed our lives. So together with Andrea, our singer, and his wife, we went to a mall today just to have coffee together and walk around. And everybody is wearing a mask, but things are way more relaxed than they used to be a couple of months ago.
Mhm.
It looks like the mask entered our new normality. So it
Yeah.
affected our life in the way that we know that there is this thing in between us and normality, but at the same time we're able to go out. We can go out for to eat something at a restaurant, but you need to book in advance because they have to put a separation in between tables. You can meet your friends. I mean, if you go to their house, you can still be with your friends. So we're slowly going towards uh, the normality.
Mhm.
And apparently things are going much better right now because I was expecting like I was expecting the peak to go up with a lot of more infected people now that the lockdown is over. But to be honest with you, things are getting better. I don't know if it's because of the warm weather. Maybe the virus kind of lost a little bit of its power. Because I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how that works. But so far, so good. And I mean, we've been the first to get, you know, the virus after China,
Yeah.
and a lot of other countries started a couple of weeks after us. So maybe we are the second one together with China to get out of it slowly. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
can say in Greece we had same problems too, although we didn't have so many deaths and all these things, but the lockdown was really strict, really severe, and we had several problems. I think the main problem after this is the aftermath, the main problem, the financial consequences. And which leads me kind of to the next question from Rena. Being a touring band, how has this pandemic affected you? Not only financially, because shows are a way of life. What do you plan to do in the future?
Well, of course, financially, we got hit really bad because, I mean, we live on tours, especially now that you don't really sell
Yeah,
CDs and you don't get, you know, a lot of money from streaming at all. So basically, a band is sustaining itself with merchandise and tours. So beside that, it's psychologically weird because when we will start again, we will it will be like starting a car after few
yeah.
months of not moving that car. You will
You have
need
to see
to
the
enter
pattern.
in the mood again. My, you know, the muscles of my throat and my vocal
Yeah,
cords will feel really weird. um, Maybe for musicians it's a little bit easier because I mean you can play guitar at home and practice every day. But for singers, and I mean I live in an apartment, so it's not that I can sing every day, you know, for hours, and or they will
yeah.
come to my house and be like,
It would be kind of weird.
but it definitely affected us. So I am personally using this time to work more with my social medias. I always took care of them, so Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. But now I have entered a completely new platform, which is Twitch. So I'm doing a lot of lives. I'm planning to stream video games because I love video games. So I'm doing something completely different that still helps the promotion, uh, can get you a little bit of money, but it's more about subs to your channel or donation if everybody wants to. But it's not a forced thing. You know, whoever wants to contribute can do that. But, you know, my channel is still free, so everyone can see
Yeah,
what's in there. But it's something that I really enjoy to do because it created a sort of a community, you know, where like real fans and slash friends can be there, you know, and just like listen to me blabbering or you know, just like
I
be
really,
myself, you know, out of the band, just Cristina.
yeah, I really enjoy artists like you, right? Like Rob Halford, for example, like Nergal from Behemoth, who take care themselves of their social media, and they are really creative when posting. I mean, it's like a day job, and I
You
really
know,
enjoy it.
it is a job. It
Yeah,
is a job because it takes time, and I know that a lot of people don't like to do that. But
yeah,
at the same time, I could never bear with the idea of someone taking care of my page because I know that it would be something really cold,
yeah,
really. I mean, it is okay if it's a band account in which you really have to show the professional part and, you know,
yeah,
what you're doing, the plans, if you recorded something new, if you have gigs, if you have cancellations and stuff like this. But on a personal profile, I like to be personal. I
yeah,
want to let people in my life. Of course, to a certain extent, because I mean, I'm not taking them, you know, in the bathroom with me, or
yeah,
if I go out with like close friends for a dinner, it's not that I'm going to bother my friend with the phone for the world to see because that would annoy my friends. But at the
yeah,
same time, I mean, I have nothing to hide. I like to share my life with my fans. So I like to show how my house looks like and the stuff that I got and all the gadgets and all the crazy things that I have around me. I like it. It's a way to
yeah.
share my personality, my life.
It's great. Mary asks, you may have answered this before, but what's your favorite song of the Black Anima?
Of Black Anima, oh my God, yeah. I actually like this record very, very much. Not that I don't like the other records that we put
Yeah.
out, but it really, really represents me very, very much at the moment. Um, I don't have a favorite. A song that I really, really like, actually, two are Beneficium and Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
And Apocalypse is perfect for the moment
Yeah.
because of the
This is
lyrics.
what we
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
This is what we live. Uh, Trying to scroll up or down.
Yeah, a lot of
Uh,
messages. I can unfortunately see just the last two lines, so it's really hard to keep up with all the
yeah,
messages.
it's so many greetings. So
Yeah.
a guy from Greece asks, will you come to Greece again?
I hope so. I hope so, and I can't wait. It's not up to us. I mean, it's about promoters talking with agency. It's about finding the right time in between other gigs. It is a very difficult work of logistic that agency has to do, and I don't know how they do it because I would go crazy. It's like Tetris. Because of course, if you're in Europe, you can be in the States. If you're in the States, you can be in Australia. If you're in Australia, you can be in Japan. So they have to put together all the pieces, and it would drive me nuts, especially if you have more
I
bands
see that
to
the tour
take care of.
schedules. I see the tour schedules, and I say, how the hell does a person deal with that and do all the routing in order to get from the proper places? But
Yes.
working for more than 10 years in the live business, I have seen how people work like this, and I wouldn't dare to do it myself.
No,
So
I could
all I
never
can
be,
say,
a tour manager or like
yeah,
I usually disorganize things because I'm pure chaos. When it comes to work, I'm super in time, very, very professional, but the rest of my life is pure chaos. I like it. I like
yeah.
unexpected thing. I like surprises. So I like chaos. I'm a chaos
All I
freak.
can say to our Greek friend is that I know that something is being working out, but I don't know when. Nobody knows when.
I really,
Um,
really hope that as soon as possible,
mm,
we're gonna be able. I came to Greece like not last summer, the summer
mhm,
before. I went to Santorini and I loved
uh-huh.
it. I love Greece. I just love everything about it. I just love everything about it. So I can't wait. I've read a message. Someone said like you can scroll down, and I said I know how to read messages, but it's hard because you're sending so many messages.
There's so many messages and so many greetings all over the world. It's amazing how many people
Thank you
all over the
guys.
world.
I feel so much love around me that it's
Yeah,
insane. That's why I love social medias. I know that internet might be a bitch because internet is very, very bad on, under a lot of points of view. It can be really dangerous, it can be scary, it can
yeah,
be depressive, but there is also the good side of internet, which is the connection side that makes me
yeah,
really happy because I would never be able to meet all these people, if there was no internet. And this is great.
yeah. And you get the love of your fans
Totally.
directly.
Totally.
That and especially I think in this period where you do not tour and you not play shows, uh, and in this pandemic, I think that you need to have to have people showing your love and
Yes.
and say that I'm doing something and I entertain people and people. It's not like saying I'm the best singer and the most beautiful woman in the world, but it's always nice uh, saying that there are certain people sending your love and
Totally.
admiration. What's your vocal range?
You know what? I don't know because I never took lessons, so I have no idea. And I got a lot of messages from, more people that are more expert than I am, and they're like, "Oh, you're a mezzo soprano, you're this and that." To be honest, I don't know because I think that a lot of people didn't really hear what I also sung in the back voices that I put in the records because I can go really low and I can go really, really high as well. It is not just the main voice that you hear up front. So I really have no idea about my vocal range. It's something that I never really thought about. It is not important to me. So I really have no idea. I don't know. There was a cool question. Someone asked how difficult it is to share the stage with another vocalist. And that is an interesting question, because I mean, usually there is always one person that gets the spot, and usually the singer is always a catalyst of attention, because I mean, you're the one that talks to the crowd, that tries to involve, you know, whoever is in front of you. And with Andrea, it's like that over the years we built up this perfect partnership in which we are not stealing each other's spots, but we are totally collaborating. Like I'm using the right side of the stage usually, and he's always on the left. And we are kind of like, okay, I control this side and you control that side. But it is not difficult at all. I mean, if you have a good relationship with the people in your bands, it comes without saying. You don't really step on their toes, and they don't do it with you, because they know exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So I know exactly when he's going to talk. I know exactly when he's going to be in front of me doing his part, and I'm going to go back. And he knows when I'm going to go in the front. It's something that we developed during the years, and I guess it's the result of more than 20 years, you know, being on the same stage.
Who decides who will speak to the audience?
We don't really decide. I mean,
it comes naturally.
I mean, sometimes you don't really think about it, but it's like every show has a sort of choreography. And it's not that we're always staying in the same place and we do the same thing, but more or less the things that you're going to tell to the crowd are pretty much the same, because that's what concerts are about. You're going to ask how the crowd is going. You're going to try to make them feel, you know, part of the show itself. You're going to ask them to sing with you and to jump with you and to mosh, to do stage diving where allowed. And there are some phrases that we always say to present some songs, because of course the songs are always the same. They always have the same lyrics, and the meaning of a song is always the same. So for some songs he talks, for some songs I talk. But if there's something happening on a concert that stands out, we improvise completely, because something new is happening. So at every show there is something different that we might say, but at the same time there are some things that we repeat.
I remember I saw a question kind of tout le monde. So I had a certain question that I'm trying to find, but I think it's kind of okay. It's from Kate. Which of your guest appearances have you enjoyed most? And suggests Megadeth, Apocalyptica, Ayreon, Tarja, or another.
All of them. I mean, they are all different, and they're all with people that I admire. So there is not just one favorite. And actually, the good thing of them all is that they were all very challenging, because those were all parts that I didn't write. So it's not that they really took care of my vocal range, because A Tout le Monde, of course, it was already written, so I had to sing over it. The Apocalyptica song was basically the same and was written from a guy. So when you are a guy and you're writing some vocal melodies, you do them in your own range. So I kind of had to reproduce it. And all those songs, you know, the Ayreon one, the one with Alter Bridge as well, they were all written by someone else. And it was very challenging for me, because it was never my tone. It was never a part that I wrote. So it was cool, you know, to learn the parts, to try to sing them, giving the people who got me as a guest the happiness of my performance, because you never know, you know, if they're going to be happy or they were expecting something different, because of course, you know, with my voice was going to be different than what they thought in the first place. But they were all amazing.
There's a guy asking, please ask her about FC Milan.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really following soccer. I mean, not only because of the lockdown and because everything stopped, but to be honest, I mean, don't really like soccer anymore as I used to in the past, because now it's more about the business. It's more about, I mean, now soccer players are more celebrities. Back
Yeah.
then, years ago, they were soccer players. So they were great because of their professionalism, because they were good players. Now it's more about the gossip behind the soccer players, and I don't like that. I don't care about who's the wife or the girlfriend of a soccer player. I don't
Yeah.
mind about their private life. Uh, I don't care.
Yeah.
And now it's
Which
more
album?
about the gossip and how many times they go to a disco pub getting wasted and get
And
photographed by paparazzi.
al- allow me to say that in Italy, you're the first country that started this star system in football. From since the 70s and the 80s, with Diego Maradona, with so many great players that you had, and you created a star system that now all the other countries try to follow, but do not have uh, the quality of the players to do that.
That
So
that is
we
true.
have
That
bad
is true.
players doing things for the self promotion only,
Yeah.
which is a bad
Well, I
thing.
guess the world changed, but yeah, I'm still supporting AC Milan because I mean it runs in the family, but I
Yeah,
really have no idea. I don't even know who's playing in the team right
yeah.
now.
Um, there's a guy asking which album was the most challenging to record and why.
Uh, Maybe Black Anima because I changed the way of singing in a lot of songs. Uh, like for example, in this record, I'm doing a lot of different voices. I'm really good in imitating voices. So we decided to apply this talent on the songs so much that a lot of people ask me if it was someone else singing on the songs or if I pitched the voice, like for example in the intro of Black Anima, which is our latest record, and it was me singing in a different way. I also sung in Latin for the first time, trying to imitate a guy voice as well. So maybe
Mhm.
this one was the most challenging, and there were some parts that were so damn high that I don't even know if I'm going to be able to reproduce it live day by night, night
Night
after
by night,
night.
yeah.
But in the
Night by night.
recording was just perfect, so I was just like, okay, I'm going to give it all, and it will stay in the recording because it's still me.
Tom was asking, do you design the stage clothing according to the concept of the album?
We usually think about the visual of the record together with the record. That happened, with Delirium, with all the asylum concept, and
Yeah.
happened with Black Anima as well, because we imagined ourselves as, let's say, soul hunter. So we immediately thought, about those very mysterious uh, figures that would try to get your soul.
My,
And yeah, so we picked up personally the stage clothes, and with the help of some friends, we personalized them the way we wanted to. And yeah, it is really important for us.
so my friend Dimitris asks, do you feel comfortable singing over pre-recorded vocals and choirs?
Uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, it depends what you mean. I mean, if it's on stage, it's cool because it gives you
On
support.
stage, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it is not a problem if there are some choruses and like back vocals. I like it because it just adds more energy to the stage. During the recording, it's different because I always have to record one voice at a time, which all the guys in my bands are always surprised, because usually when you're doubling yourself on one part, to make it bigger, you usually need to hear yourself to kind of repeat the same thing that you did. But for me, it's the other way around. I get confused. So I have a very good ear, very good memory, and I'm able to reproduce the same exact thing the way I sung it. And they're always like, I don't know how you do it. And I'm like, well, I'm a singer. At least, I can do my job.
um, Lina asks, which is the most extreme or emotionally moving expression, express of admiration that you have received as a musician? Uh,
The
perhaps
most
something,
moving?
or moving or extreme expression of admiration from a fan.
Well, one very moving, at least for me, happened last night because three friends and fan decided to gift me with a game capture thing that I need for my Twitch. You know, with the green screen
I
because
saw that in
they
your Instagram story yesterday, tonight,
yes,
today.
because they want to help me to improve my channel. So I mean, I get a lot of presents, a lot of gifts, a lot of messages every day, and those are already like magical to me because that means a lot. You know, that means support to me. Um, something. Oh my God! I mean, in more than 20 years, we have
Yeah, uh,
so
more
many
than 20
things.
years. In fact, it's 20 years and a couple of days because the anniversary of Inner Reverie was a couple of days ago. I
Yeah,
think it's 21 years or
it
something.
was
So,
2018. Yeah.
yeah. So Brent asks, a few days ago, there was the anniversary of your debut album. What do you remember from these days, 20 years ago? Would you change anything from this album?
No, I wouldn't change anything from any record that we did. Of course, if I listen to the very old records, I know that I wasn't. I know that I sing better now, that we're better songwriters, but they were perfect for the time being. You know, recording in that place to our level of experience back then. But I wouldn't change a thing because I mean that would change the course of events, and I'm very happy of being here where I am now with Lacuna COIL. And what do I remember of 2018? I mean, I remember very well the one of a kind show that we did in London because that was insane. That was the most complete show that we've ever done. We had basically a circus of artists on stage with
Yeah,
us, and we had to do a pre-production for like 6 months prior to the show. And one week before the show, Andrea and I had to go to Bristol because the circus was based in Bristol to practice some of the special effects with fire. And then they lift me up with a parachute skirt, like 6 feet, not 6 feet, probably more, in the air, so I could, perform my song with a piano. And that was really crazy. And we actually had to perform twice the same show that was 2 hours long, the same day of the show, because we had a troupe filming us for a DVD, and we
yeah,
had to try for the very first time with all the artists on stage. So aerialist, uh, everything. They were doing everything. I
everything.
mean,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
watch the DVD or if you watch some
Yeah, I've seen that.
videos
Yeah.
on YouTube, you will understand what I mean. But it was really stressful. But at the end, I was so very happy and satisfied of how it turned out. And so that was the memory that stands out from the
Hmm.
anniversary for sure.
Mike asks something about food. Is there any place in particular that you have tasted the best food ever while on tour?
Wow. Well, there are a lot of places that we like, and we always try to taste the local food. So, like in South America, for example, there are amazing churrascarias. The cocktails are incredible. If you go to Japan, we love sushi and we love all the soups that they do there. I remember that in Vietnam, the soups were incredible. The veggies were really, really good. Of course, we love Italian food. I'm a big fan of pizza. I try not to eat Italian food when I'm out of Italy.
Yeah.
Uh, and it is not only because we're really picky with Italian food, but also because we eat it all the time. So as I said,
Yeah, of course.
we like to
Doesn't make
try
any
the
sense.
local thing. I love Greek food very, very much. Dolmadakia are my favorite ones. And I love the bread. I love the pita bread is my absolute favorite. So yeah,
Yeah.
we love food in general. We are actually I am obsessed by food. It's not that I like food. I live to eat. I don't eat to live.
And we're both happy that it is not shown on your body.
Oh, it does. But I mean, at the same time, you know, I always say like I might die tomorrow. I want to die happy and with my stomach full. That's what I always say.
So,
You know,
so there's,
I don't want to take anything good out of my life, and food is something good for my body and for my soul, for my mind. It makes me happy, so
so
why would I stop?
speaking about food, there's a perfect question.
Yeah.
I need to know an Italian perspective. Does pineapple belong to on pizza?
No. And oh, no, 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 not at all. I've seen a
That's,
pizza the other day that was like foie gras and pineapple on top. It was the most disgusting picture that I've ever seen in my life.
oh my
And I
God,
mean,
pineapple on pizza.
now it became a sort of a meme because, you know, it looks like we are just like
Yeah.
giving a, but it is true that every time we hear about pineapple on pizza, we're like, uh, and
What the hell is that?
it's not about something sweet on the pizza as many people think. It's because it creates acidity with the tomato. So it's like it's something. No,
Yeah.
no,
No. That was
no, no, no.
the perfect question at the perfect time. John asked, which is the best band you have ever toured with?
Best band. Well, same
As far
thing.
as I can,
Same thing. We had great experiences with different bands, but I definitely have to mention Moonspell. I definitely have to mention Typo Negative. I definitely have to mention Rob Zombie. And
mhm.
then, I mean, so many bands that we toured with that we love very much. But with Moonspell, it was the first tour in Europe and the first tour in the States. And they were so helpful in the beginning of our career that we really consider them family. They are brothers to me.
Mhm.
Um, with Typo Negative, because of course, you know, they are one of our favorite bands. And when we met them in person, when we toured with them, we found out that they are, and Peter was amazing people. And it's the best thing when you meet your idols and they are even better than you were expecting them to be. And Rob was extremely kind with us. And I mean, when we toured with him in the States, I mean, he's a real rock star, he's a legend, you know, in so many ways. And he has been very, very friendly, very supportive. Andrea and I interviewed him for a radio station as well. It was always super, super kind. So those three names are in between, you know, the bands that we love to tour with. But
Yeah.
then there are so many others, you know, even
Yeah, I can
Epica,
understand, but
Within
it's a
Temptation,
matter of
all the
chemistry.
bands of Friends.
It's a matter of chemistry. I think that there are many good people in the bands, but in certain bands there's a certain chemistry between you and the others. So
Yes. And
it always
and
makes sense.
also on tour, it's really important to respect each other's places because spaces. Because I mean, to be on tour is something really weird. Everyone expects, you know, a party every day and craziness going on. But the fact is that every day is exactly the same because I mean, you get to the venue, you eat a little
Yeah,
something, you prepare the stuff for the sound check, and then you sound check, and then you eat again, and then you might have a meet and greet, and then you have the show, and then you meet fans. It's very methodic. So sometimes you really need your alone space. And
yeah,
some bands might be more energetic and might want to party more than other bands.
yeah,
So in some cases there might be a clash because some bands are just like, please leave me alone because my idea of touring is playing the show and chill out for the rest of the day. The idea of some bands is just like, I'm on tour, I'm gonna play, I'm gonna party all day. So as you can understand, you know, sometimes it's just like not the same.
it's class. It's class. Yeah.
Exactly.
Paula asks, during all these years, have you seen any changes to the way metal fans, see female vocalists? Do they show the same? Do they, excuse me? Do they show more respect, or is it the same as it was 20 years ago?
To be honest, I mean, I've never really encountered a disrespect because I was a woman.
Yeah,
Uh, I remember that in the very beginning it was weird. I mean, I would have some looks because it was weird to see a woman on stage with a metal band. But I never got disrespected also because, I mean, I would remember because, I mean, I am an Italian woman for real. You know, I react. I'm not the one that is going to let it go because, I mean, if you do it to me, then you're going to do it to another person. So
And
I will be the last one you're going to do
you
something
know,
like this. If it's gonna, I'm
I
going to make you pay for it.
I read this. I
You
read
know,
this,
to me,
and
like
I
respect
saw
is the
your
first
bio.
thing. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe it was because I never put myself as the different element in the band. I was never asking for more respect because I was a woman. I was
Yeah.
just like, I'm equal to the guys. I'm part of the band. I want the same type of respect because I am working right now. And I never found anyone who disrespected me. Well, maybe in some festivals it just happened that someone said like naked, naked, and I just pointed at that guy and it was just like, you come here, you undress yourself, and I might think about it, and everybody just like never reacted. Never reacted. So most of the times those scenes of disrespect happen because they feel powerful because there is a lot of people around. There are a lot of people around them. Like in a stadium, everybody's just like, woo! And then you take them by themselves and they are maybe the most shy people in the world.
Yeah. Hmm. And Sonia asks a similar kind of question. Having watched you in the Hottest Chicks in Metal tour for Karma Code album, would you take part in a tour named like this again?
To be honest, I mean, it was named like this because I was on the very first cover ever of Revolver magazine,
Yeah.
and it was the hottest chicks in metal. But
I had this. I was.
to be honest, I don't understand why a lot of people think that if you say a girl is hot, it's almost an offense. You can be
Yeah.
hot and you can be capable, you can be smart, you can be intelligent, but being hot at the same time. I mean, you don't have to be ugly to prove you're something. So to me, it was back then, it was a demonstration of strength because I was like, I am on the cover. It's not a hot guy, it's a hot
Yeah.
chick. Well, not that I'm saying that I'm a hot chick, but in that case, I was on the cover. So to me, it was something really powerful for every
Yeah.
woman to come because I was setting an example. There's nothing to be ashamed of if you're pretty, if you're good looking.
Yeah.
I never understood this thing like if you're hot you're stupid and if you're ugly then you're smarter than a girl
Yeah.
that might be prettier. We just need to be proud to be females regardless.
Yeah. Of
There's
course.
much more there are many important things than the look, I understand. But at the same time, we're talking about a cover of a magazine, you know, they are trying to find titles to grab the attention so people buy magazines. Let's be honest. I mean, you have to
I've been
consider,
doing
you
that
know,
for many
different things.
years. And you have been on our cover in Rock Hard magazine when it was a printed magazine. You had been on the cover, I think, 3 times, all your records. Because we wanted people to buy magazines. No, it's not. It's a good band, and it's having a beautiful singer and on the front cover. It's a selling point. I mean, what more can I ask for?
It
What
is.
should
I
I?
mean, if you're trying to hide that, then you're a hypocrite because that is
Yeah.
the truth. That is the truth. I mean, especially metal, a girl will always get more attention. The most important thing is that you are offering more than that. You can be a pretty figure and you know in front of the picture, but you can be able to sing, to perform. You can be able to do your job, and that is really different because there are several bands with a pretty girl in the lineup that are not good bands and they don't
Yeah.
make it. Then
Yeah.
there is a natural selection.
There's a guy asking, how did you meet Steve DiGiorgio?
50 Giorgio, I met him. Oh, that was the most, that is the funniest anecdote. I need to tell you this. I knew who he was Well, actually, no. The first time that I met him, I didn't know who he was. Physically, I didn't know about the name. I didn't know in which band it was. I had no clue. So I remember I was in San Francisco. I was getting ready for the show. And I remember I was by myself on the bus. He jumped on the bus because the doors were open because we were like in a private parking lot. He came on the bus, and I remember that we looked at each other, and I looked at him like, who are you and why are you on our bus? And he just looked at me and he was just like, hi, I'm Steve. And I just looked at him and I was like, hi, I'm Cristina. And he just looked back at me, maybe thinking that I knew who he was, but I didn't know. And he was like, Di Giorgio. And I just looked at him and I was just like, Scabbia. And I have no idea what it was. So that became, because of course in the meantime we became like close friends. I call him brother, he calls me sister. He can speak Italian, but we always think about this, moment that it was super hilarious because it is surreal, Steve DiGiorgio on the bus and I have no idea who he is, and and he's like, DiGiorgio, Scabbia, and everybody laughed so much about
That's your moment of awkwardness.
Exactly, as always,
So there's a question that I had to be asked. Did you ever think about releasing a solo album?
Not really. I mean, I've been asked so many times about it. I think that it's interesting to make a solo record if you have something extra to say that you wouldn't say with your own band. But to be fair, I mean, I've always felt completely free to put whatever I wanted in LACUNA COIL, that I never felt the urge to say, I want to make a completely different record that is, I don't know, traditional Italian or techno record, whatever, because I can't put it in LACUNA COIL music. So I never really thought about it, never really had the time to think about it. And I don't play an instrument, so I mean, it would be all MIDI programmed, which I have a band around me and with me.
Mm-hmm. What do you like to do in your free time? I think you have already.
It depends. It depends. Playing video games, watch TV. I love to spend time with my friends, so at their houses or in my house, or a nice dinner, for example. I love dinners, with friends, because it's always a great occasion, social occasion, to see people you love and spending an evening talking in front of